So apparently, Turki Alalshikh does not want Oleksandr Usyk versus Joseph Parker. He wants Usyk Fury. He wants Michael Hunter versus Big Baby Miller. Give the video a like, guys. Comment, sub, buy me a coffee. Support the channel, please. And a big thank you to those who already have. Those that always do. So yeah, Turki says he's not interested in Usyk Parker, even though Parker is next in line for the lineal championship of the world. It looks like he wants Fury. Probably because it will sell more, unfortunately. Now maybe some of that is down to Usyk, who at this point in time is no longer a legacy fighter, but just a mercenary. Personally, I find that hard to believe because I have never heard Usyk say a thing about money, and he's always fought everybody, and it didn't matter where it was. I know everybody remembers the whole I'll take 30% against Tyson Fury just to make the fight happen, right? To me, that guy always seemed content with the money he was getting. Like, he always had enough. He never came across as money hungry. So it just doesn't make sense that now that he has more money than ever before, he would all of a sudden become money hungry. I think it's the Sheik. I don't think he's interested in the best versus the best at their best. He wants that moolah. And if that's the case, I get it. Just be honest about it. Don't paint this guy as some kind of a hardcore boxing fan. He's a noob. He doesn't know anything about the sport. All he wants is that dollar. He wants your loyalty, while his only loyalty is to the Crown Prince. Obviously. Well, and the Saudi Sovereign Fund. I'd like to be able to say that that's a bad business move because he is dissing the hardcore boxing fans, but I just don't have that much faith in these so-called hardcores, and most of the people that call themselves boxing fans today, I mean, they'll buy whatever you sell them so long as you package it properly, right? I mean, look at them jumping at each other's throats over a fight they never wanted and were even against. Crawford Canelo, obviously. And unfortunately, Mickey Mouse fights like Ngannou, Fury, Ngannou, AJ, yes, Jake Paul, they make money. Because unfortunately, in my opinion, WWE and UFC fans have crossed over into boxing in droves. Sorry. And these so-called hardcore boxing fans have left the sport or crossed over with them. I'm hearing all these so-called hardcore boxing fans now talking about how they don't want Parker Usyk because Parker is a boring fighter or whatever excuse. So what do you want, Fury Usyk 3? Really? What else is there for Usyk? I think Caballel would be a good enough compromise, or maybe the winner of Parker Caballel. But what if it's Parker, right? Would you then be happy with Parker Usyk? I get some of the arguments against that fight, Parker Usyk. I understand some of the complaints, but at the same time, if you want the sport to have any integrity, you gotta respect merit. You gotta respect the concept of a lineal champion, heavyweight champion in this case. You have to have some kind of loyalty in the sport. Look at Parker. He's been on these Riyadh season shows, taking on Zhang, Wilder, and he was supposed to be fighting Dubois before Dubois ducked him. That's most likely what happened. Quit crying. And I'm pretty sure Parker was the underdog in those first two fights. He wasn't supposed to win. And I think that's the problem. I think the Sheik had imagined these big punchers like Zhang and Wilder in big fights. And I think Parker ruined his plans. And I think Turki realized that Parker was going to ruin Usyk Dubois, so he pulled Dubois out. But Parker, for his part, like a good loyal subject, was taking on the tough fights, and he kept winning. And no, they weren't the most exciting, and if you want to say they were boring fights, fair enough. But so what? Parker was taking on the two biggest punchers in the heavyweight division, and he was about to take on another one. And even Fat Bacoli was probably the third biggest puncher in the division. And if Turki is going to invest in Crawford, who was never an exciting fighter, and now at the age of 37, 38, he's downright boring, if we are to judge him by his last fight. He's promoting Shakur Stevenson, for crying out loud. The most boring fighter in the last quarter century, probably. And that guy's never in any danger in his Mickey Mouse fights, like Parker was in his last three. So what's Shakur's excuse for being boring? It's not about being boring. Not much anyway. It's about making the most money possible. And to me, it seems like it's personal. Again, it really does seem like Parker had ruined a lot of Turki's plans. And he's kind of a groveler. He is, a nice guy. He doesn't seem, to me, like he stands up for himself. Not enough anyway. And if there's anything we know about tyrants, it's that they actually respect you more if you stand up for yourself. Stand up to them. They might throw you in their not-so-secret prison, like Turkey with those 5,000 unfortunate souls and his little torture chambers in Saudi Arabia. But hey, at least they'll respect you. And I think we could all agree Parker is in no danger of being imprisoned. Especially how he got off scot-free after that whole methamphetamine dealing ring fiasco connection. Daniel Kinahan, anyone? Or was it heroin? I forget. Neither one is my jam. I prefer strawberry. I really think Turki Alalshikh always saw Parker as a loser, and he's treating him like one. I mean, look at how he's treating Daniel Dubois versus how he's treating Floyd Schofield, both of whom got sick on the same night. The relevant difference was that Floyd Schofield showed receipts and Daniel Dubois just disappeared. Daniel Dubois got the big fight right after, and Floyd Schofield, well, apparently Turkey doesn't like him, doesn't want to give him another chance. I think my initial judgment of Turki Alalshikh is still correct. He's not a fan of boxing. He doesn't know anything about the sport. He's just a fanboy who looks at the sport as his personal playground. He sees himself as some type of a chess master who's going to dominate the game because he's so good at it. He knows who the best fighters are. He knows what the best fights are because everyone's kissing his ass and calling him a real boxing fan. He thinks he knows what's best for us. He thinks he knows what we want. And if we happen to disagree, he knows he could just convince us to want what's best for him. And that's obviously the most money right now. I don't think that's the best business plan, not by a long shot. When it comes to real boxing fans, what they want, hardcore boxing fans, true hardcore boxing fans. But I mean, how many of those do we have left still watching boxing? Maybe Turkey is right. It's gonna be all Mickey Mouse fights for Mickey Mouse fans. I don't think he respects us. I think he sees us as a whole bunch of children. And in many instances, maybe when it comes to the majority of people who watch boxing, maybe he's correct. I mean, look at how he parades himself around with these fighters, walking around holding their hands. I think he sees himself as some type of big daddy figure, and all of these groveling journalists out there do nothing but reinforce all of that, calling him His Excellency, kissing the ring, getting down on their knees, doing, you know what else. If only figuratively. It's like he's standing over all of us saying, say my name, or who's your daddy? And all he hears back is, yes, Massa Bossa, your excellency. So you get what he gives you and you're gonna pay for it. I'm not down with all of that. I think we should stand up to him and as customers, demand what we pay for. Not have him tell us what we want and believe it like a bunch of groveling fools. Children. But again, I'm probably giving the boxing fan a little bit too much credit.